on Yourself Media Sports. I am your host, Reggie. Welcome to the show this evening. Sorry I had a difficulty. Somebody had let me know my sound was out on my first take, so I'm rebooting. But before I get started, I truly would like to thank all those who have subscribed to my channel. It does not go unnoticed, not for 1 minute, not for 1 second of the day. I'm truly grateful for y'all subscription, y'all subscribing to me. I truly appreciate y'all, man. But to get the day started, man, I'm going to talk a little bit about Kellen Moore. I'm going to talk a little bit about Tyreek Hill and some of the Bengals information that I got today, and most and foremost, Philadelphia Eagles. But let's get right into it. Before we do that, let's just spin the block. Yeah, as y'all all know, man, our guy, man, Saquon Barkley, he had a great week last week, as we all know. He put up some good numbers, scored 3 touchdowns, and for his reward, he was rewarded Player of the Week. Saquon Barkley, congrats to you, my brother, and for the Philadelphia team in general, because without them, it wouldn't be his success, as we all know that. But yes, Saquon Barkley, thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to many more upcoming games in that magnitude moving forward. One other person I really want to talk about, elaborate on here too, man, is our offensive coordinator, and that's Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore, man, he's brought in a new system, as we all know, new coach for the offensive play calling, and for me, it looks very promising. It looks very promising, despite the situation with Jalen, the bad throws, the bad decision making he made with the throw, and the one in the end zone to A.J. Brown, where A.J. Brown had actually slipped on that play and didn't recover. But the topic that I want to talk about here with Kellen Moore, him and Coach Stoutland had some type of, that wasn't a disagreement, we're just trying to put things together in regards to the offensive line, making adjustments with the motion that he implemented into the offense. And by him doing so, Stoutland was making the point that the offensive linemen don't have the time at all to adjust to the defensive switching. They're more accustomed to knowing their assignment and achieving it by less motion. So I don't think it's going to be less motion. I think it's just going to be in certain situations that this is going to be implemented as far as the motion. But the motion is doing a great job. I'm liking what I see with the motion. I'm getting a lot of comments and a lot of intel from higher up people that follow the Philadelphia Eagles and are inside the Philadelphia Eagles, as far as Mr. Cosell, Greg Cosell. He talked highly about the Kellen Moore situation with him doing the motion and what it does for the team and what it makes the defense do. He did make one statement on how coaches coach that. He brought up Belichick and the coach for the LA Rams, how they use these here motions to find out what the team does for later on in the game, more so than right away. So I'm all in, and I'm truly grateful that this system is in place for us. It's going to give a lot of room for the backs out the backfield, like you seen Skinny Batman had a great game, 88 yards. A.J. Brown had a good game. And one other player that Kellen Moore mentioned in his interview was Johnny Wilson. He was really high on Johnny Wilson, spoke about his 10 plays that he had, and not so much on the pass catching, but his blocking downfield. And I did watch some film on it, and he had some great blocks downfield to get the receivers extra yards on his blocking technique. And I'm looking forward to seeing this young man blossom as well too. Now, next I want to bring up is Fangio. Fangio talked about both Devin White and Bryce Huff. Let's see
player
what he
too.
had to say.
I had a call or two that could have been better, but he's improving in that area. I think on most of our guys, if you look at it, we had 5 guys up and they all played about similar rep counts, and we're just rolling those guys.
Is that the way you envision that rotation going throughout the season, or is that more attributed to the beginning of the year?
Not sure. It's both. Could be both.
What's next thing to do to play more?
Just separate himself from the other guys. 2 that could have been better.
So as you see there, he spoke on those guys on the situation that with Bryce Huff and with White, and White was asked in his comments what did he think his role would be with the Philadelphia Eagles moving forward.
Tweaked his ankle last week,
and he answered it.
He's still part of it,
and
will be part of it. I said tweaked his ankle last week.
Was the right response.
He's still part of it, and will be part of it.
Ford, Nick said they're going to need you. Did they describe to you what that role was?
We'll have to get it from him.
What happened to your ankle? Like, when did that happen?
Just tweak, man. A lot of information. Some been working through. With the training staff, they've been doing a good job, and trying to get me well. You know what I'm saying, just to make sure I can do everything I need to do.
So there you have it, man. He hit it. He hit it in a nutshell. I mean, he had a slight situation. It was a setback for him. He lost his starting role, as I see it. The Kobe Dean will be the starter. It's upcoming Monday night against the Atlanta Falcons on Monday. Zach Vaughn was lights out the whole game against the Packers. He played an outstanding game. He pressured the quarterback. He tackled. He was in the backfield frequent. I think he had like 15 tackles or something like that. And I think he had one or 2 sacks. So he's on the road to a good start. I think Philadelphia should look into trying to sign this guy if he keeps up what he's doing thus far. So I think the Eagles should look into trying to sign him, keep him on board on our linebacker core, along with Trotter and the other linebacker that we have in house. So I'm happy with what I see with the linebacker room. Dean's playing very well. He's earned to stay on the field as of right now. I hope he does keep his spot, and we just use White as a rotational piece, like Fangio has stated earlier. He was planning on using White as a rotational piece. He wasn't sure of what yet he was going to do, how with the 5-man rotation that he uses. So he hasn't made an exact measure on if he's going to use them in that manner or not. So as y'all see for yourself and what Devin White spoke on, find out from Vic Fangio what his role is on the team, man. And hey, you can't ask for no more than that. You can't ask for no more than that, and it is what it is. Next up, I want to talk about is this situation here with Tyreek Hill. Now, I got to watch some of the video personally again over. I got to watch it from the beginning, and when he first actually drove by the police officers on the highway there in Florida, in Miami, he was speeding. When he was pulled over, Tyreek kind of got flipped with the lip. As I was taught, when you're pulled over by the police, being a black man in America, knowing what the circumstances are and how they treat us in those circumstances, just to comply with them, let it be what it is, and move on. Put your hands on the steering wheel, put your window down, and get yourself out of the situation in a safe manner. Because you know how these cops are, as y'all seen. Now, I'm going to say this. Tyreek, for me looking at the full footage that I seen today, he was wrong in certain situations. He didn't have to mouth back, but the police officers was wrong too by the handling of Tyreek Williams, snatching him out the car, um, putting a knee in his back, and so forth. I think that was all uncalled for. Then his teammates was harassed by the police officers for them stopping to check and see what was going on with Tyreek at the time. They were on their way to the game, as he spoke on. They were on the way to the game. So that was another thing. But I want to say this to say this. Tyreek Hill could have downplayed that and just gave the man his license, kept his window down, understanding these people running around with their windows tinted. The officer felt unsafe with not knowing what was going on the other side, inside the car, with Tyreek's windows tinted and then putting the window back up. If he would have done that, I think this matter would have been resolved much quicker. But like I said, the officers was wrong for their doing. Then Tyreek spoke out today, admittedly saying that he was wrong for it. He could have handled it much better, and he wanted the officer that grabbed him by his neck and threw him to the ground fired. But he's on administrative leave as of right now, and I'll probably have a further update on that situation moving forward. But yeah, man, it's just been a mess with him dealing with this police officer situation. And for those out there that are of color, as such as myself, you got to know better when you're dealing with these police officers. They're high strung. A lot of them are not trained properly in how to de-escalate situations like that. I still believe that the other officers that were there too could have de-escalated that situation with him being handcuffed, and then on top of that, they could have, stepped in and told the guy, like, look, they knew who he was because one of them whispered, that's Tyreek Hill. So there's no excuse on that side of the ball. But next up, man, I want to talk about Cincinnati Bengals owner, quarterback. I know that Joe Burrow has an injury to his wrist. It's his throwing arm, his right wrist. He's been having a situation with that since last season. Last week, first game of the season, you seen signs that, to me, that didn't look like his wrist was really ready for him to play. He was missing throws, overthrowing, just bad play on his behalf. The offensive line didn't help either. He was tackled in the backfield, hit often in that game. But I got to give him his props at the same time. Before he got there, the Cincinnati fans was wearing brown paper bags over their head. Now, he got his bag. Why aren't they paying Chase his money? If it doesn't be for Chase and T. Higgins and the rest of the unit, he doesn't get the money that he has without those guys on the field. So I don't understand why the owner is not paying Chase the money. Chase is the top-notch receiver in this league. If I'm wrong, let me know down in the comment section. Chase is the top-notch receiver in this league. He should be paid accordingly. He earned his money. No doubt about it. We all see it as football fans. He earned his money. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Help a brother out. Tell a friend about Bet On Yourself Media Sport. So I believe Chase still should get his money. That's what I don't understand about these owners, the decisions that they make and how they make the decisions. I'm gonna speak on the New York Jets with Hassan Reddick situation for a brief second. You trade for a guy knowing that he wanted more money. You bring him into your organization and you don't offer him more money, knowing that that's what he wanted before he left Philadelphia, and you still don't see the fit to pay the man. Why would you do something like that? Why would you trade for a guy not willingly ready to pay him the money to play for you? So Hassan's still holding out. He asked for a trade. I believe they said they weren't going to trade him. But there were some rumors surfaced today about him possibly, Howie maybe, want to try to reach out to the Jets to see what they want to do for him. But then there was talk about Hassan Reddick here in the Philadelphia Eagles organization last year was doing a lot of things on his own outside of the context of the defense, the scheme, chasing stats. That's something else I heard. So, I don't know. That's just some words I heard from another content creator that was put out. So I don't know the realness about that comment, or if that was a true statement that the players were in disagreement with Hassan Reddick's play last year by him chasing sacks. So we'll find out later on, more than likely, if the Eagles are still interested. We still have an open roster spot, as I know. We could possibly make a deal, but he's not still going to get the money. Howie's not going to pay him what he wants. But yeah, so let me know what y'all think about Saquon Barkley getting Player of the Week. What do you think about Devin White losing his starting spot to Nakobe Dean? Should Nakobe Dean still have that spot, or should we throw White back out there along with Zach Vaughn and use Dean in a rotation? And what do you think about Fangio's talk about Bryce Huff? What do you think about Huff's situation? The money we gave him, the $17 million. I'm not going to get too hard on him at this time because of the circumstances. The field conditions were horrible over there, where they played at, both on offensive side and defensive side of the play. Players were slipping and sliding all over the place. This week and moving forward, he has to show some promising productivity. Speaking on Huff, this kid must show some action moving forward. No doubt about it. But with that being said, man, y'all let me know, like I said, down in the comment section about the segment that I produced out here about Joe Burrow, Tyreek Hill, White, and Saquon Barkley and Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio is old school to the core. He keeps it 100. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. And that's what I like about Vic Fangio. He's old school. If you can play, you can play. If you're doing your job, you'll be on the field. If not, you'll be on the bench, and we'll try to slot you in when we can. But with that being said, man, you know what we say around here. Yep, be good, be safe, God bless. Keep the main thing, and have an attitude of gratitude. Until we meet again, you know what to do. Peace, born strong. Come join the family. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend about Bet On Yourself Media Sports. Peace.